All right, all right. Peace, blessings, enough, holy, plenty, a lot of love to all our queens and all our kings that is here in the house on this meeting platform and also on our varied YouTube platforms. Please, thank you very much for making it deep dive, globally changing lives. And as we commence today's program, we just want to start with our signature tune, which was gifted to us a few years back by Lurata Shadari, international singing recording artist, in it to win it. And so anything that you're in, then you can win. But if you are not in, quite possible you will not be able to win. You have to be in it to win it. Thank you very much, Queen Loretta Shadar.
clear of the closing doors, please.
Okay. Thank you very much, Queen Loretta Shadari. Really appreciate, really appreciate. And moving right along. And you know that mindset is one of the greatest thing that you can be privy to, and that is in life. Because everything that you do has to be based on the mindset. What kind of mindset do we have? All right. And so to do the mindset today, it's yours truly. Before the main speaker come on. So let me just quickly, maybe about 10 minutes, just to engage you at this time about how to evaluate your mindset. We talk about mindset for about few years well. A number of years well, we have been talking about mindset. But how do you how to evaluate the mindset? That is what we are going to be looking at today. How to evaluate the mindset, because we're saying to have mindset and to have mindset, and we tell you about the different types of mindset, and two of the main ones, of course, is a optimistical mindset or a pessimistical mindset. Is one or the other, right? There's no middle ground. There's no um, you know on the fence. Is either you have a positive mindset or you have a negative mindset. That's it. All right. There are other, types of different mindset you have that there is, and we went through that couple few months ago. So what we are going to be looking at right now is actually how to evaluate. All right, you have a mindset. Let us evaluate it. Evaluating your mindset means looking honestly at how you think, how you react, and approach challenges. It helps you understand whether you have a growth mindset, focus on learning and improvement, or a fixed mindset, believing abilities cannot change, which will be false. Here are some simple ways to evaluate your mindset. Let us evaluate it. Very important. One, observe your thoughts. Ask yourself how you think in difficult situation. What is the thought process? What is the mind in the thought process? How do you think when you are met with difficult situation? Because when things are easy, you're able to think through it easily. But when difficult situation occurs, how do you deal with it? Do I say I can learn this, or I'm not good at this? Do I see mistakes as learning opportunities or failures? A growth mindset focus on progress, not perfection. Let me say that again. A growth mindset focuses on progress, not perfection. And yes, you might do something and it never work out. Just like I remember the first time I tried to do pizza. I am a lover of pizza, but I don't use the dairy cheese. And you hardly can find a place that don't use dairy cheese to do pizza. Is either they don't put any cheese on it, or they put a little um, they're going to put some cheese on it, right? But it's not plant-based cheese, okay? And so it's very difficult to find a place that can do that for me. So I learned how to make it myself. But the first time, the very first time, and I make it from scratch, the dough, everything, lock, stock, and barrel. But when I finish my pizza, oh my goodness, when I finish my pizza, the dough part tastes like biscuit. So I was happy having biscuit pizza. I was I was having biscuit pizza. It wasn't pizza. Pizza. No, it wasn't that. It was biscuit pizza, right? But I learned. I didn't look. I ate it same way because it was still edible. So I eat it and I felt good because I did it. That's number one. So even though you might feel disappointed that it never turned out like the ones that you taste before, hey, I did it. I made that pizza. And so I was happy that I could have made the pizza, even though it didn't turn out. And after a while, a couple months of doing it, couple times and so on, it got better. Not perfect as yet, but it still got better. Right? So don't focus on the negative. Focus on the positive. All right. Number two, reflect on your reactions to challenges. Think about how you react when things get hard. How do you react? Do you avoid challenges or do you face them? And a lot of people avoid challenges. Why? Because they don't want to be disappointed or they don't want to fail. But failure is stepping stones to perfection, because perfection is not something that you work towards. Perfection is a continuous lifestyle. And so let us understand that. Do you give up quickly or do you keep trying? People with a strong mindset usually persist and adapt. Persist and adapt. Three, evaluate your response to feedback. Sometimes we don't want to hear nothing from anyone. Feedback reveals a lot about mindset. Ask yourself, do I accept constructive criticism, or do I feel defensive or motivated to improve? A healthy mindset sees feedback as valuable information. And yes, somebody might be just criticizing you just for criticism's sake, but trust me, most of the time, if not all of the time, even though they are criticizing just to put you down, take listen to it, take what is there and see if it can make you better, right? Don't and get all twisted, right? Because that will not help you. 4, check your attitude towards others' success. Notice your reaction when others succeed. Do you feel inspired, or is it that you feel jealous? What's your attitude? Do you try to learn from them? A positive mindset turns others' success into motivation. That is where we need to be. 5, ask reflective questions. You can evaluate your mindset by asking yourself, what did I learn today? What did I learn from so and so? What did I learn in this situation? What did I learn? How did I handle failure recently? Am I growing or staying comfortable? Let us reflect. Let us reflect. 6, track your personal growth. Look at your progress over time. Are your skills improving? Are you taking new opportunities? Are you learning new things regularly? Growth shows that your mindset is developing. Is developing. So let us recognize that if we are not developing, then obviously we are doing something else. We are either stagnant or we are reversing. And so, in your finances, develop intentional money habits and a powerful mindset to guide your financial journey. In your well being, focus on in, intentional thoughts, protect, protected energy, and habits that support wellness. And so, positive affirmations, positive affirmations. Use them to combat self doubt and build belief in your capabilities, right? And so I do hope that these few words was able to assist you in better, in moving forward in respective to where how to evaluate your mindset. Let us evaluate our mindsets so that we can be better and better at self development and our attitude even towards ourselves. Because I have never, in all my years, I have never seen anyone beat up themselves, punch themselves, fight themselves physically. Why do it with words? Encourage yourself. Encourage yourself. Encourage yourself. Let others put you down. You don't put down yourself. Let others put you down if they want to. But you don't put down yourself. You don't discourage yourself. Always encourage yourself. Thank you very much. Really appreciate that you allow this opportunity for me to say a few words on mindset. Thank you very much. Also, at this time, we are going to move right into gear and, all the necessary comments and questions at the end. So, we are going into another session of financial needs analysis. And of course, we know that that is none other than King Timothy Ferguson Jr. That is the man with the plan when it comes on to finances. Let me just remind you who he is. I know that you know who he is already, but for those who might be watching sometime down the road, he's a trusted leader, a mentor, a personal development coach, an extensive background in health and fitness. So he's not only financial, he's health and fitness, right? He has proven to be an excellent teacher over the couple years that he has been here presenting. All right. And of course, he's a financial specialist. So, without any further ado, we are going to now turn over the mic to none other than Timothy, King Timothy Ferguson. And of course, he will give you the financial needs analyst. Over to you, King Tim.
Thank you, Dr. Derek. Again, by the way, wonderful message in which you provided there, and is very, very essential to have a proper mindset. In fact, many of us are not just in the positions we're in, but stuck in the positions that we're in because we cannot overcome errant mindsets of success. And so I hope you guys were taking notes. And I hope that it has truly impacted you. I hope you were able to be self-reflective in saying which one do I associate with? Am I one where I'm in a fixed mindset, or do I have an adjustment mindset that I'm seeing the things and evolving as I'm going through things? Am I trying to reach perfection, or am I just trying to attain to get better? These are things that are very essential that we got to ask ourselves, because it applies to everything that we do. And one of those that we can have a fixed mindset or a misunderstood mindset is when it comes to money. Money is a subject that I think each and every one of us here on this call, here on YouTube, can all say I'm dealing with in some form or another, and I don't have a great relationship with it. What do I mean by that? I mean that in some form or another, I'm disappointed with money. Yeah, I have some ups and downs. I feel good with my money because when I get a paycheck, I get a little bit of a breather. Or if I got a tax return, it's tax season. I got a little bit of a breather. But most cases, I'm usually in a place of struggle. I'm in a place of challenge. If I get a letter in the mail, I'm afraid to open it because it's going to be a bill that I don't know that I'm going to be able to pay for. So I ignore it. These are, again, mindsets. I'm working someplace and I feel like where I'm working is not enough. And yet, if I could just make more money, things will be better. Mindset. And as a result, and for most of us that feel that way, some of us might say, hey, I've actually tried that. I did get a better job. I am making more money, but I'm still having the same money problems. And so, guys, I just want to say that it's not about how much money you make, it's how you manage your money. Is that what's that's what is the big deal. I saw a statistic that was saying that 90% of NBA basketball players fall into I can't think exactly what the word was, but financial debt after 5 years of retirement. And keep in mind, these NBA basketball players, and let's say, for instance, we're not talking about the superstars, but still the average NBA basketball players make six figures. There's no excuse as to why you would be in a financial debt in 5 years, especially if you've been playing for 5 to maybe 10 years. You should be set, but that's not the case. And another thing that I want to say, because one of the things some might figure, say, man, I maybe I can get out, maybe I can avoid this money issue before I get before I retire or so. And I'm gonna read another statistic with you guys. And one statistic shows that 5% of us won't be alive by age 65. That's just 5%. But 90% of us more likely maybe broke by age 65. So what is that saying? Is it saying that you're more likely to be in financial turmoil than to be dead? And as a result, rather than looking towards an expectation of being dead in our later years, we need to recognize that the bigger issue we come across is money. And so the question is, how do we fix that now? How do we fix money, this money problem? Well, let's get really simple here. Let's go back to building blocks, guys, and talk about something that we all can also relate and understand. And let's talk about a house, a home. Okay, we all live in a home, whether you're in an apartment building or a tower or a house, whatever you're in something that had to be constructed. And when it was constructed, it started off not by bricks, not by the plot land, but it started off on paper. Okay, what do we call that? We call it a blueprint. This blueprint is a design of what this is going to be, and it lays everything out step by step, order by order. And when we apply instructions by the way of the blueprint, guess what? We create a finished product. That's our home. That's a building, whatever that is. But it starts off as a blueprint. And guys, that blueprint is also is not just essential for the purpose of, oh, well, I see something and I see a design. It's also essential because it establishes order. Okay. One of the things that we have to understand, that when it comes to doing all things, that the only thing that can create order is order in itself. And for most of us, guys, when dealing with money, not our money's not in disorder, but our mindset is also in disorder as well. And so, and I want you to think about it like this, guys, because and here's where I'm going to challenge you here. We just heard a wonderful segment on mindset and the motivational mindset. Here's what I'm going to challenge you on, in this case here. When it comes to order and disorder, how does it make sense to continue operating in disorder, expecting order to come? Would that make sense? Think about that. If you think that I can operate in disorder and expect order to come, that's basically saying that disorder in itself has greater leverage to create order than order in itself. And this is where we got to start with. There's a disorder in the way that I think and how I'm doing things, guys. You know, I'm kind of going on a tangent here only because the message that Dr. Derek just provided on motivational mindset is so essential. It is so foundational to what it is that I'm getting into right now, talking about a matter that 90% of people out here are struggling with. When I mean 90%, I mean 90% of people today are working check to check. 90% of people today are not on track to retire by age 65 or 67. 90% of people today do not have a what's the word? You know, they do not have a will. They don't have any estate planning. And so majority of the people are in a financial turmoil or heading towards a financial turmoil. As I said, majority of people are looking towards being broke by the time they hit retirement. Now, does it mean that it's too late? No, it doesn't mean that it's too late. Does it mean that if I have if I only got 10 years prior to retirement? No, it's not too late. It's never too late, not until we're dead. But what it does mean is that I got to do something different. I got to do something different in how I'm doing things. I cannot expect doing the same thing over and over again and expect to get a different result, or at least a correct result. Not if I'm doing something that has constantly landed in the place of financial turmoil and challenge and hardship. So what do we need to do here, guys? Well, it's like I said, if we want to build a home from the ground, we start off with a blueprint. Okay. And with that blueprint, that's going to show us everything we need to do. It tells us the cost. It gives us an outcome of expected time of getting things done, what's required, all of these things. All right. So when we put a dollar sign behind that, I just call that a financial blueprint. All righty. And the question that you got to ask yourself right now, when I am going about my day-to-day, when I'm going about my plans in regards to what I want to do for my family, my future, whatever it is that I'm doing, do I have that blueprinted? Okay. I'm asking ourselves a question. I'm working a job. I've been working there for 10 years, whatever the case is. I got a 401k plan there. Am I on track for retirement? I don't know. If I don't know is your answer, that's not a good answer. That's like saying I'm building a home. Are you on track for this house to be built in a year? I don't know. That's not a good that's not a good answer when you are technically in between homes waiting for your house to be built. When it comes to my finances, am I in the best position to be able to handle challenges that come? Not really. Based on my experiences, I'm not. And a lot of us just kind of accept it as, oh well, it's just what it is. It's life. And in this case, but the truth of the matter is disorder. Why things are so hard is because I'm trying to do the right thing the wrong way and expecting that I'm going to get a right result out of it. Now, is this to criticize anybody? Is this to judge anybody? No, not at all. Not at all. Why? Because guys, I'm just going to be frank with you. We live in a very wicked world, and a wicked world that takes advantage of our lack of knowledge. In fact, gives us information of what they want us to know, keeping what we need to know away from us so that we can be in these turmoil positions and just kind of call it life. Just kind of say, well, it's because I'm not making enough money. Or if I had this or if I had that, things will be better. No, things will be harder. You know, if you're think about it this way, guys, if you are frustrated over the current financial situation, the current debts that you have, imagine how you would feel if another zero was added to those debts, or maybe 2 zeros. Imagine if those debts went from 5 to 6 debts to 16 debts. Okay. And then and even if the money might be a little bit more that you might be generating, just imagine how much of a stockpile of what you owe is, how that can make you feel, how much stress that can add. It doesn't get easier. Okay. The closest you are to zero, and when it comes to debts, the sooner you're going to be out of debt. And so as a result, the objective is, what do I need then? What is the solution to this? If you're saying a job is not going to solve this, if you're saying more money is not going to solve this, then how do we solve this? One, let me clarify. Work and working income, greater working income is a part to solving this. More money is a part to solving it. Just like with building a home, having people that are there to actually construct a home are a part of the process. Okay, if we don't have anybody to build the home is just going to stay on paper. But them, without having the blueprint, they can't build a home, even if you have them already and hired and ready to work. And so the financial needs analysis, guys, is something that each and every one of us should have. Non-negotiable. It shouldn't be a matter of, well, I don't need it, I can get away with it. That's basically saying I'm building a home and we don't need a blueprint. I've seen it done before. I think I know what I'm doing. The smartest person is one who does things order on top of order on top of order, not winging it, not trying to find a way to make it quicker, reducing the cost. No, doing it right from the start all the way to the finish, so that there will not be any kinks, any checks, any challenges that to come across in the process. Okay, so a financial needs analysis, this is something that every single one of us have. And this is the reason why I say that the system is wicked, because being that this is something everybody should have, it's not marketed as something everybody should have. Well, where do I get a financial needs analysis from? Usually, you can go to a bank, talk to a CFP at your bank, if you know what that is. And if you don't, you go ask for one. And yeah, they'll sit down and they'll talk to you to do a financial needs analysis. Oh, sure, come on in. They'll give you coffee and donuts. Hey, I'm so happy that you're happy about trying to do something with your finances. Another option is contact an attorney. You talk to an attorney, they say, oh yeah, we'll throw in a free will for you, in association with this. We'll do a financial needs analysis for you. Great job. Great job. I'm glad that you're on track. Okay. For those that know about it. And then for some of those that know about it, they say, okay, I'm great to get on this matter. So how does this start? Well, talking to CFP and attorney, they're going to charge you anywhere between $1,000 to $1,500 for one of these. And they're going to say, hey, it's an investment. You're investing in your financial future to basically make it seem as though, hey, it's worth getting one of these things. Here's the problem though, guys. If you're already in financial hardship, you're already in a financial challenge, I can't really afford for my cell phone bill to double. I'm really not in a position to throw out $1,000 or $1,500 for a financial needs analysis. So guess what? I go without. But here's what happens when we go without, guys. I want to use another analogy for us to look at what a financial needs analysis is in comparison to. And I call that a GPS or a map. All right. Think about it like this. If you were out and you decided to go on a long family trip, and you got out on the road and you drove and you're driving and you get caught into the scenery and you get lost. You decide to pull over into a nearby city area to try to regroup, to find out, okay, where are we and where are we in comparison to our destination? And let's say you're out and the first thing you need to say, I need a map. How would it feel if you're lost and you need a map and you go to a gas station, they're like, oh yeah, we sell maps, they're $500. Or something just silly, ridiculous, of a cost just to get a map. What would you say? Oh, well, we'll have to shell out $500 if you got it. But what if you don't have it? Now we're lost. Okay. And we're trying to figure out, how am I going to get to my destination? Now, I don't think any family lost without being able to get to their destination would say, you know what, let's just find a place and settle here and just live here from now on. Hey, and see how I go. Or let's just get back on the road and just see where we go. I don't think that would be the idea that any of us or any family would want to do when they have a destination they're trying to get to. They're going to find a map. But now, in the cases of an actual map, or you're trying to find a map, guess what? They're free. And if they're not free, they might be 50 cents, something like that. Thankfully, because of 2026 and the age we're in right now, most of us, we can just pull up our phone and put the address in there and GPS it out. And that'll take us directly where we want to go. And the great thing about the GPS, guys, is not only will it tell us where we need to go, but it also will tell you how long it's going to take for you to get there. It'll tell you the best route to take as well. It gives you everything that you need to ensure you getting to your destination, because nobody intends to get on the road to go someplace and get lost or stuck and stay that way. Okay. I don't think any of us intended by any means, when we got into this game of working and taking care of family, that we had any intention of getting financially stuck, or we had any intention of making $1 million over the course of 30, 35 years just to not be able to retire freely. I don't think anybody had that idea or thinking about that or cared for that. But this is what's happening on a daily basis, especially in today's age where inflation is so high, and it's climbing even more, guys. Now that we got all of this mess that's going on with with Iran, gas prices are starting to surge even more. And so it's not getting easier out here. And yet the thing that everyone would like to have is a financial freedom date, or a comfort of knowing that when I retire, I can live freely without having to work a second job or worry that I'm going to utilize all my money. Okay. So the financial needs analysis is this blueprint, guys, that when you have this, it lets you know exactly where you are and where you're going. And it assesses, am I at a shortfall? When I'm looking at my retirement, am I on track to retire on time, or am I at a shortfall? How much is that shortfall? Or am I at a surplus? Where am I in association to this? I need to know, especially before it's too late. It also shows us our debts and living expenses. How much do I pay monthly when a calculated total when it comes to living expenses? When I tally up my phone bill, my Wi-Fi, my living expenses, my food, my gas, how much am I spending every single month? Wow. When I see it on paper, I actually spend way more than I thought. And I'm not talking about being an overspender, but I see that, wow, I spend a lot of money. What about the debt? I got a mortgage, I got student loans, I got a car note, I took out a loan for this and that and this and the other, and I got these debts that I have to pay off. I got credit cards. They started giving me credit cards right when I got into college. And every single time that I'm looking for, and I'm in a challenge, here comes a credit card knocking at my door, offering me to open up a credit card so I can take care of my needs, promising I have great credit as long as I keep my payments up. This is what we're hit with. And as a result, when do these credit cards get paid off? If your answer is, I really don't know, that's not a good answer. It's not a good answer if you want to make sure that you are going to be on track for retirement. It's not a good answer if you want to know the date that you're going to become financially free. It's not a good answer if you want to have a life and more abundance. These aren't good answers. If you're going to build a house, you might as well start off with the blueprint. It's the easiest part of the process, the blueprint. Okay? There's nothing hard about it. It's nothing challenging. And in this case, it's just putting everything in place and showing you this is how you get from step A, from point A to point B, going on until you put the roof on that house. Okay? So these are things that I need to know. What's my financial independence number? How much money do I need to have so that I can retire and not have to work a second job? When's my financial independence date? What is it actually going to be? And guys, here's the thing. I'm going to be honest with you. Because we know the circumstances, we know the hardships, it can seem a little daunting seeing these things on paper. I'm afraid to see how much I actually owe and how long it's going to take. I'm afraid. So I'd rather just be in the dark on that. And this is where we got to understand how the spirit of fear makes us quite foolish, because I'm living day to day, moving forward, growing closer to retirement. I'm getting older. You know, things are not slowing down or pausing or going and rewind because I'm choosing to be in the dark with things. Things are only going to get harder, and as it gets harder, it's just only going to draw more stress. It's going to it's only going to create more regret because we say, "Oh man, I wish I did this 10 years ago, 20 years ago." It does not benefit. It doesn't generate or bring about anything beneficial. Okay. So the question I have to ask myself now is, if I'm going to do this, why won't I do this correctly? What am I afraid of here? Are you afraid of me? You know, are you afraid of numbers? What are you afraid of? Ask yourself these questions. This is really essential because when it comes to that mindset, these are the things that determines, am I going to break free from this, or am I going to stay stuck in this? Asking myself these questions. And then when I ask myself, be honest. Let's be honest with ourselves. Am I content with this? That's what we got. And that's the next question we ask ourselves. Am I content with not knowing and just being in the gray? And if you're not content with it, well, then there's your answer. That's one answer. The next thing is, well, what's the challenge of what's my issue in getting this FNA? What am I afraid of? What's the holdback? Is it money? Yeah, with the cost of these FNAs, money can definitely be a condition or a holdback. But what else is there? Trust, whatever. Then, and guys, listen. Any of the reasons that we have that may be that are conditions are not excuses. They're not something to look down upon. They're all valid reasons, you know. But here's the thing that we have to understand is that every one of these reasons could be answered by a solution. If it's trust, let me get some more information to look into that so I can get some verification in establishing that trust. You know, if it's whatever it is, I can there's a solution to finding out what I need so that I can move forward. It's out there. God always makes provision. Just because it may not show up and look as the way that we expect or hope for it to look doesn't mean he doesn't provide. And so, but these are the things to ask ourselves the question as, why am I not moving forward? Now, here's the thing. One of those conditions, guys, that for many of us may say, well, that can agree with is money. Money is a condition. Man, I believe this is necessary, but I don't see that. I don't have $1,500. I don't have $1,000. I don't have $500. I don't have $50 for something like this. And why would we say something like that? Because, well, let's just be honest with you. You know, if you've heard one of my messages that I spoke before talking about time management, it's understanding that when it comes to how we look at certain things, what we look at is going to fall into one of three columns: either wasted time, spent time, or investment time. And when I'm looking at something that I don't really know, really don't understand, hearing it from somebody I don't really know and don't understand it, in this case here, I automatically perceive what I'm looking at as a wasted time. Okay. I got more things to do. I got other things to do. I got this, I got that, I got this, and then the other. And then in this case here, I'll get to that later on. It gets pushed back on the back burner. Wasted time. Okay. But guys, that is a perception, not a reality. Okay. And it's something that can be clarified with more information. Questions. What about that? And whatever those questions are, these are questions to be asked and to be addressed so that I can get to the solution of this, which is what I really need. Now, I don't believe anybody here who's listening to this is saying, I don't believe a financial needs analysis is necessary. I believe it's necessary. You might say, well, I don't believe that how it's being provided, what can be provided works, or I don't believe that it can fix my situation the way that I need it to be. And again, these are all things left for Q&A to find out and to confirm. But the only way we're going to do that, guys, is by with that motivation mindset, taking the first step. Okay. I wish life were like was laid in a way where everything could just come to me the way I want it to come to me. Sometimes I got to take the first step. I got to get out there. I got to want it. Okay. And learn. Now, here's a great thing about what I do, guys, because when it comes to this industry, financial services industry, whatever you want, however you want to call it, this industry that's dealing with centered around money. This is on a scale of 1 to 10. I trust this industry a 0, guys, a 0. Why? Because of some of the things that I shared with you. You have people out here who are looking for the means of making money over truly helping people. And so, guys, myself, I've made it my purpose to take a moral and ethical approach in helping people, and by putting people's needs above my own personal needs. Am I saying I don't have needs or anything like that? No, I'm not saying that at all. I'm saying that fulfilling the need of the majority will take care of everything. Will take care of everything else. But unfortunately, we're in an industry where people look at fulfilling the need of the majority, but not at the best interest of their own. And let me rephrase that need for those in this industry and call it greed. Okay, because what these things with this resource that is beneficial to you is not something that needs to cost money. It's not something that you need to be paying for, that people need you to pay for them. No, it's greed. I can, it's something that I can do on extra, and I can just make some extra money for it. And you can't have, you can't have greed with the desire to fulfill a need in the same place. They don't mix. Okay. And in most cases, for most people that are in this industry, they look at things from a means of greed, how I can benefit. I'll help you benefit, but not at the best interest of my personal desires. And that right there, guys, is what's wrong. That right there, guys, is why we have a billion-dollar industry in finances, and we have 90% of the working class who are broke. 90% of the working class who don't really even understand how money works. And it be because you have individuals who don't care to tell you, and so as I said, my goal is to taking an approach to truly helping people, sharing with you, providing you what you need without money being a condition. So I believe a financial needs analysis should be something that is just as free as a map. If you're lost, you're already spending money in gas and homestay and stuff. You don't need to spend money on a route. And so that step that we need to take in saying I need a financial blueprint, I remove the condition of money being the reason why I can't do it. Now it's the challenge. It's challenging the mind. Is it worth doing? Is this worth my time? Investment worth my time, or is this a waste of my time? Guys, what do you need to see to understand the significance and the need of a financial needs analysis to be worth your time? What do you need to see? What do you need as proof? We lay out a blueprint, having something that shows you where your money is at, showing you if you're on track for retirement, letting you know, showing you how long it takes you to pay off your debts. You do this and continue to do this, you'll be out of debt in 30 years. Some of you might say, I won't even be around for 30 years. You got family, you got children, grandchildren, they will. And if your money's not, if you don't have money to be around, then you'll have debt that will. And guess what, guys? Whether you're here or not, those debt collectors come knocking. And for us who truly care about our families, care about our kids, grandkids, and want to have the best for them, the latter shall be greater. We want those debts to end with us. I think we all could agree that we want our debts to end with us. And in fact, we want our debts to end before we end, to where we can say, I got a chance to live life. And what I mean by living life, not being alive, not living life, but being alive and living life. I can go on a vacation. I can take care of things cash if I want to. My money is working for me. I have something that is being laid up for my children and my children's children. Why not? Some might say, well, because I don't think that way because I don't think it's possible. So I don't want to think about those things because it makes me feel a certain way. But the truth of the matter is all things are possible to those that believe. And I'm not saying, hey, you need this and then now figure it out. My job is to help those that I work with get from point A all the way to point Z. It's my job. That's what I'm here to do, to help you get to from where you're at to where you need to be. Okay? Why is that so important? Because guys, if information alone was enough, well, guess what? There will be more people in better financial conditions. Okay, there are tons of books out here. You can go on YouTube. There's tons of videos you can listen to. Tons of speakers who can motivate you, that can tell you, hey, this is what you got to do. These are all the things. Give you all of the material you need. But yet it's not enough, guys. I've been a part of that party. I've done speaking for years, talking about stuff like this, talking about financial needs and financial management and financial health. Years, guys. And in the beginning, I took it as because I would see people who would come back and they say, hey, you're that guy that was speaking such and such and such. You know, I'm like, oh wow, you recognize me. And you know, what's the first thing that I want to hear from there? A testimony. So how has what I've taught you or what you've heard, how has that profited you? Oh, we're just keeping it one day at a time. That's not what I expected to hear from you based off of your response from me. You know, you were happy to see me. I thought I had a positive impact on you. Okay, well, maybe you just didn't want it. That could be the case. And then I come across more people, same thing. And yet they're not seeing any results. Eventually I come to a place where I'm looking in the mirror saying, what am I doing wrong? I'm getting positive feedback. I'm getting all these things. Why am I not seeing any fruit manifesting from anything that I'm doing? And it got to a place where it became frustrating. Not to the point to where I said I quit, but it was just to the point of, man, I feel like I've hit a wall and I can't get past this wall. And that's when I got with my mentor a couple of years ago, 4 years ago now, who talked to me and we just had a conversation and I just talked to him and I was just honest with him. And the words that he said to me then were striking words that I would never forget. Why I won't forget? Because these were things that I was dealing with for a long time. And he gave me an answer. He said, son, he said, he said it, son, he said, if information alone was enough to change people's lives, you would see more people's lives in better circumstances. It is your job to help them get from where they're at to where they need to be. They need a hand. We all need a hand. I need a hand. We all need a hand. And so it's important for us to humble ourselves and acknowledge these things. I need a hand. I need a help. Okay. In this case here, guys, this help starts with the blueprint, financial needs analysis. If you're working, if you have a plan on wanting to retire, if you want to be financially free one day, the first thing that we need to start with is a blueprint to show us what are we looking like. And here's the thing: my objective, the objective of what I do in helping people with the F&A is not to just show you where you're at, but it's now to show you with what you have, what I can do, educating you to accelerate that. If you're on track to get out of debt in 15 years, wouldn't it be great if you could accelerate that and get out of debt in 5? Wouldn't it be great just to find out you can do that, not by adding extra money, but by using the money that you're already spending to do that? How's that possible? It's called strategy. Okay. That is the part of the process where I come in terms of helping you through education, strategy. But you can't have a strategy if you don't have a plan. Okay. We can look at where you're at and we can say, hey, wow, you're $400,000 off from being able to retire on time. Oh my gosh, I'm going to be short. No. It's just telling you you're off. With strategy, this is what we're going to do so that you'll be able to retire on time. All within the means of what you already have. Anything extra is just a surplus. All within the means of what you already have. But guys, we first have to have a plan on paper. I have to have something to look at, to work off of, to build off of in order to build. And that is where what the financial needs analysis is essential for. Everybody should be getting one of these, especially if it's free. Think about how many commercials that are out there, and then you hear the one commercial where they're saying, "Hey, come to the local food truck. We're giving ice cream for free." Everybody and their mama are going to be in that line to get some ice cream. Unfortunately, the people at the back of the line may not be able to get any because by the time they get there, they're all out of it. That's the unfortunate part with that. But the point I'm saying is that if something is free, I want to be the first in the line. I want to take it. Let me do it. What do I have to lose? Nothing. What I'm doing is an investment to help people. Take it or leave it. What I'm showing you and how I'm helping you is with what you already have, using your resources to get you where you need to be. What's the issue with that? I got to believe it to see it? Well, of course. I understand that, but we got to start somewhere. But being in a place of being handicapped and saying, I'm not going to move. I'll wait till later on. Guys, the clock is ticking. Every single day you wait, every single month you wait, it just makes the goal harder to fulfill. My mentor said to me one time, he said, son, there's a high cost to waiting, a high cost to waiting. So every time I push it off, the process that I need to fulfill, it gets harder. Think about it this way. Let's go back to the example of the house blueprint. I'm building a house. Based on this project, it's going to take 16 months to build this house. We start on this project on Monday. This house is going to be done 16 months from today. Every single day we delay on working on this house, either we got to push the date back or we got to work harder to meet that schedule. You see what I'm saying here, guys? If we want this to be done in 16 months, but we don't start on time, that means the work and the labor we have to put into this is even greater than what we initially would have to put. And the longer we delay, the more work and labor we have to put into this. There's a greater cost. That might cost more money because I need more people. That may cost more money because now I have to fund overtime. It's going to add more stress on the workers. It's going to add more stress on everything. Things may get missed. Problems are going to start to be created because it's out of order. And the only way that we can, at that point, balance things out is push the time out further. But what if you don't have that time? So as a result, guys, this is something that we're saying we don't need to wait on this. This is not something that's worth waiting. I wait a year and I just miss. What did I miss out on? Okay. This is not about this. This is about getting these things paid off as fast as possible. Getting my life back as soon as possible. And so, I want to close with this, guys. I hope you guys are taking the money mindset motivation of what Dr. Derek is saying and taking notes, guys, because the difference between starting and getting this thing in order and not getting this thing in order after hearing it is that mindset. Am I fixed, stuck in my ways, or am I going to make the adjustments and continue making adjustments, continue growing and getting out of this? Which one am I? Which one am I content with? If I'm not content with being stuck in my ways, well, then I got to make a move. Now, what is that move in this case right here, guys? Getting this financial needs analysis. Dr. Derek will put my name and my number and information in the chat so that you guys can reach out to me. Guys, this is what I do for a living. So this is not a place of, you never be able to reach me, or you're going to be on some huge waiting list in the matter. I'll never get to you. This is my job. This is what I do. And as a result, so getting this and then being able to walk away with this, and then with the plan of what I give you and putting that into place, helping you is the objective. The only way you won't see the result is if you don't apply it. That's it. Look at it just as simple as the only way you will remain hungry is if you don't eat. So how foolish does it look for me to say I'm hungry, but I refuse to eat? How foolish does that make us look? And so that's how we have to think about our finances. I'm in financial turmoil. My debt is up to Mount Everest. I don't know how I'm going to pay these things off, but I won't get help. We've removed the condition, money. We removed that from the equation. So money is no longer a reason why I can't do this. It's complementary. Why is it complementary? Because it should be complementary. Not because I'm doing you a favor, because it should be complementary. Everybody should have one. If you have one already, get an update. How many of us go to see a doctor and he gives us and get a checkup and we get a clean bill of health to say, hey, I'm glad I'm never going to have to see him again? No, you get a checkup regularly. And the good news is you get a clean bill of health saying everything is all good. The other good news is he informs you of a problem that you can fix before it becomes chronic. Win-win. That's how we have to look at this. So, Dr. Derek, I thank you for your time. I thank you all for hearing me and hearing this out. If you have any questions or comments or feedback, please provide it. My objective in what I do is not to just do, but also to improve, to get better, and ultimately, so I can be a better resource in helping those who are looking to help themselves. Thank you again, Dr. Derek.
Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Thank you. Thank you very much, King Timothy Ferguson Jr. Really appreciate, really do appreciate. Thank you ever so much. And so at this time, anyone have any comment or questions that they would like to ask King Tim? His information also is in the description on the varied YouTube channels, and also it's on the flyer. So if you want to speak with him personally, all his information is right there on the flyer or on the varied YouTube channels that we stream live to. So please give him a call. Other than that, anyone here want to ask any questions? Let me just quickly take a look if there's any questions on the YouTube. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Just a lot of thanks. There's no question. And let me look up here. Thanks. There's no question. All right. So I guess no one have any questions at all. Have mercy. All right. Peace, blessings, and enough love to everyone. And at this time, we're just going to ask King Tim to give a final comment.
Thank you again, Dr. Derek. So what I share is guys, if you have somebody you're already working with, draw closer to them. If you're looking for somebody you need to work with, find that somebody. And because this is something for us, the effects of our finances not being in order are so huge to our well-being. Financial stress kills. It ruins marriages. It destroys families. I mean, I can go on a list of all of the challenges financial turmoil in our lives creates for us. This is not something for us to be careless about or to not make moves on and getting in order. This is something that we all need to get in order. And it's something for us to take seriously, to where if I don't have it in order, let me get this in order. Okay. And this as a result, guys, who that's with does not have to be me. Okay. But it needs to be somebody that you can trust and that has a heart to that has a heart to that puts your needs first above theirs. It has to be somebody. Just like we all have a doctor. We all have somebody that we all go see who has a chart on us that can look up all of our history and stuff that we trust. We need someone in the financial sector who can do the same thing as well. Guys, I don't call myself a financial advisor. I don't call myself an investment agent. I call myself a financial health coach. Why? Because it is my duty to coach you in becoming financially healthy. And what that and to become financially healthy, guys, is associated to more than just one or two things that some people might think about when they think about finance. Okay, it's about everything that has a dollar on it that's either that's coming out of your pocket and it's in adjacent to what goes into your pocket. If there's a financial imbalance in that, and it's a chronic financial imbalance, guys, you need a financial health coach. Nobody has a chronic illness and decides they're not going to see a doctor. They're not going to get surgery. And so, if I'm speaking to you, if you say that's me, I can relate to it, whether it's a huge deal or whether it's a little deal, no matter what. And in this case, I need help in this. There should be no reason why you should not be reaching out or to get more understanding, to get more help. None at all. My job is to redirect you to what you need so that you can fulfill the goals that it is that you want to fulfill. Again, I thank you again, Deep Dive. I thank you for your time. I thank you again, Dr. Derek. It is always a pleasure and it is always an honor. I'll be back, and because the need of this and to fulfill this is a grave need, and I'm here to be here to be sure to be here to address that need. Again, thank you all, and God bless.
All right. What? Hold on. I think I have a yes. All right. Thank you very much, King Tim. Really appreciate, really appreciate. Thank you all very much for being here. And just remember that positive mindset is what we need to strive for. A positive, optimistical mindset is what we need to strive for. Um, So let us use the information and work assiduously on ourselves, because being um, negative or pessimistical, it's not going to work for you in the long run. You actually you might even get sick just being negative. Oh yes, I did say it. You might all be, you might all result in being sick, right? People, sickness come upon people based on their mindset. So let us have positive, optimistical mindset, so that we can live with a good, pure inner peace. I thank you all very much for making it deep dive. Those that are on the YouTube, various YouTube platform, really appreciate. And if you need any questions, or as I said, the information for King Tim is in the description on the varied YouTube platforms. Okay, so thank you very much for being here. And thank you all very much. Thank you very much, King Timothy Ferguson, for your presence here. It's a pleasure all the time when you are here, to because listen, if If I honestly, if I did not have a wife that deals with those things, I might tell you, free, no, you cannot go far better than free. My one is free. My one is free, and I tell you, the freeness is good. Okay, freeness is good. All right, especially if it's coming from someone who is well intent, and I believe that King Tim is well intent. So if he says free, it's free, because really and truly, some monies that I hear my wife quote for this and for that and for take care of this and to do this, and oh my goodness, whoo, man, I don't know. I don't think I'll be able to manage all of that. So thank you very much, King Timothy Ferguson Jr. Really appreciate. I thank you very much for your presence here on Deep Dive Globally Changing Lives. All right, so without any further ado, we are bringing the curtains down on our next wonderful deep dive. So you do have yourself a wonderful rest of the week. Remember that on Thursday, it's deep dive again at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Sorry, Eastern Daylight Time, because we spring forward one. So yes, it's still 7, but it's a 7 Eastern Daylight Time. So right now, if you are like in Jamaica, then that 7 is now 6, because they did not spring forward in Jamaica, and so in the Eastern Caribbean, which like Trinidad and Tobago and those places, they did not um, spring forward either. So they have Atlantic time. So we are now aligned with Atlantic time. So um, we there in Trinidad and Tobago and Barbados, those islands there, it is now 7 p.m. their time also. All right. So thank you all very much for joining us. And Sunday, of course, it's Dream Team. And Monday, it is my wonderful, lovely, beautiful wife with Mindset Monday. So please, it is also 7 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. So thank you all very much for making it deep dive, and you have yourself a wonderful rest of the week until I see you on Thursday. You know that we have a little after party on this side of the planet. But for those on the YouTube planet, take care, and we will see you once again.